July is almost over, and you know what this means. I've built my new TBR, my TBR for August. And as always, I'm way too optimistic with what I can read in a month. But nonetheless, I will try to accomplish this goal. So let's start with the first book. I have two digital books on my TBR for August. The first one is Love Arranged by Lauren Escher, the third and final book in the Lakefront Billionaire series. This book will be published in August and I want to read it right away with Maron as the books before in the series. I have to admit I'm not that interested in the couple that is the main cast of book 3, but I want to see what happens there, and maybe Lauren Asher gets me to like especially the male main character, because we already had him in book 1 and 2. And I didn't like him that much, so we will see how it goes in book 3. The only thing I know about the story is that this is an arranged marriage or fake marriage. So let's see how this goes for me. And the second digital book will also be the final book in a series. It is Rewinded Back by Liz Tomford, and I'm really excited to read book 5 of the Windy City series because I love Rio, and I only waited until now to read this book because my buddy read partner reads these books in German, and the German version is coming out now in August. So we waited for that to finish the series together. So this will be a read for the second half of August. But as always, I won't only finish series, I will also start a new series. And this time it is Blood of Hercules by Jasmine Mars. I was really intrigued by this when I started reading the sample of the book, and I think I've only read 20% of the sample before I decided to buy the full book. This is the special edition, collector's edition, I don't know, but with the sprayed edges, because this fits the edition of the second book in the duology that I already pre-ordered. And I want to see if I like Blood of Hercules or if I need to cancel my pre-order on book 2. So I will read this now in August. The second book comes out at the end of October, if I'm not wrong. So this is a lot about Greek mythology, but not the way I expected it to be, because this is also a dystopia that plays in the future, and that was the point that was intriguing to me. And adding to the fact that this is white shoes, and I'm a fan of white shoes, so fingers crossed that I will like it and that I can read book 2 in November. And of course, I also want to continue my long-term series projects. The first one of that is Carl's Doomsday Scenario by Matt Dinniman. This is book 2 of the Dungeon Crawler Carl series, and I loved book 1. I read this in July now, and I want to continue in August. I have a special video for the whole series in the works, so it will take time until this video comes out, but I continue working on this and on the series. because this is super entertaining. This is lit RPG. So our character is part of a video game and needs to get through a dungeon if he doesn't want to die. And he is not alone. He also has Princess Donut on his side, a speaking cat, and he needs to fight a lot of monsters and the bosses. And I'm really excited to read book 2 to see which decision Carl will make here. And another long-term project for me is the Zodiac Academy series. At this point, I still need to read a lot of book 7, but the month is not over yet, and I don't have much else to read. So I'm optimistic that I will finish book 7 so that I can start book 8 and 8.5 in August. We have Sorrow and Starlight and Beyond the Veil. And yes, I want to start both books because this is a tandem read, or I want to read it as a tandem read. I already marked all the times that I need to switch books, and I don't think I will finish these books in August. So we will probably see them also on my September TBR, because I don't want to rush through the story. At this point, I'm reading almost 2 months on book 7 because I don't want the things to happen that will happen at the end of book 7. My heart is already breaking, and we will see how the stories continue. I will take my time with it. And I will also take my time with the next book that is also a buddy read. It is a book about the CIA. In English, this is called Legacy of Edges, The History of the CIA. This is a non-fiction read, and I will discuss this with my buddy read partner, Yassi. The buddy read partner I'm also reading Rewinded Back with. So we have a lot to do in August, but I'm optimistic that we will finish both books. And I promised myself that I will work more on my 25 for 2025 list because I'm way behind on that. So I picked 3 books off the stack. The first one is Game Changer by Neil Shusterman. I can't remember much about the book except that it is about a boy that gets into an alternate universe and is a big leader there and can make decisions that changes the world that he knows. So really intriguing to me. Probably a lot of social criticism, and I'm here for it. And Whisper Network also fits the topic of social criticism. This book by Chandler Baker is on my TBR for years now, and I never got to reading it, but I really want to read this book. This is a lot about sexism, about feminism, and about sexual assault in the job. That is all I know at this point, and I will tell you more in my next 25 for 2025 video. And also in the next 25 for 2025 video, I will talk about these 2 books. I'm ready to read more about the Black Dagger Brotherhood. And we are getting to the books where it gets really interesting, because this book is the last reread of the series, and we are getting into new territory with book 20. In English, this is Lover Reborn. The story that annoyed me so much back then that I DNF'd it. Hopefully that will change when I do my reread with Maren, the buddy read partner I'm also reading Love Arranged with, because I need to read this book, because I want to read the next story in the series so much. And you can't just skip one book. That won't work. So I need to read Lover Reborn, the story of Thor. For me personally, his new love story comes way too fast, and I'm emotionally not ready to commit to this romance, but I will get through it. And with that, we will have my whole TBR for August. 11 books in total, plus the books I've already started in July, which will be Darling Venom by Parker S. Huntington. I have to read the last 100 pages to finish the book. Then we have The Lost Metal by Brandon Sanderson, my Sunday Read With Me book. I have 3 parts left of the book for August, and 2 books that I still want to read now in July are Heartless Guy, book 7 of the Zodiac Academy series, and Envy, the 3rd book in the Fallen Angels series by J.R. Ward, a book that I need to finish before I can start Lover Reborn, because the timelines intertwine and the stories intertwine. So this is my plan for August. Please tell me in the comments what you want to read next month. Like the video if you wanna, follow my channel, and I will see you next time. Bye!